Great. Good morning. Good evening on this tonight. Stream is up and running. Down here, we turn the nets, so we'll get right into the action. Okay. And they fold. Oh, what happened here? There we go. So 8 tables. 8 tables of NL50 up and running. Um, let's just see here. Okay, this is a decent table. I think realistically, um, all of our tables actually seem pretty decent right now. Just have one extra open, so I'm trying to find the best one to remove. That one's not an option. It's probably this one, even though we have a big whale at the table. At a position on him. How about this guy? What's he saying? 2 hands in. And on my left. No action there. Okay. Down here at East Jack suited, we're gonna bump this up. Okay. Okay, so we expect the top kicker here. I think this is the table to get rid of. It's a bunch of nits on our right, so we'll just remove this one, bring this one in. Okay. Up here we flop a set. Under the gun an open button called. We also called. Checked around to him on the button. He bet we raised, called, and we're just going to barrel and shove all rivers. Just let it go. Okay, this table got pretty bad, so we'll be looking to move tables here. Can't pick up ace king. Blind with blind. Okay, 3 betting ace king. P4 bets, we just shove. Got used to playing like 8 tomatoes there for a while, so we did not 4 bet. Obviously blind with blind. I don't think there's much we can do here, but stick it in. Gross, not only he shows aces here. Or ace king suited. It's like best case scenario, probably no heart. Okay. Misclicked here. Obviously meant to open this. It's actually a good enough hand that we can defend against that ISO. It's going to be super, super wide. Villain probably knows we misclicked there. Okay, stab turn. Okay, over here we call queen eye off out of the big blind versus small blind open and flop top 2. And when villain checks, we stab a ton here. So obviously in this scenario, we're going to be stabbing as well. Okay. Villain calls and we vote up on the turn. He leads into us, which is interesting. It's usually spades. Guess we call. It's a very good turn card. So if he led here with a draw like Jack 10, what the heck? If he led there with a queen, that's crazy. Um, okay, we just value bet though. It's nothing else. Yeah, wow, that's wild. Interesting lead from Villain. Up here we're jamming for value with Ace Queen. Nice, and Villain ends up calling with pocket players. Firstly, raise triple barrel. So we just want to mark as a recreational. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with being a recreational. We just want to make sure. Okay, so we got 8 tables event on 50 up this evening. Just got to pull the actual stream up here for a minute. Just bear with me. Welcome everybody who is following along to the stream. Okay, so it looks like the stream is good and running on Twitch and YouTube. That's really picking those up, though. Okay, reads ace 9, no value. Hold 7 deuce. Okay, gonna bump the queens. Pickpocket 3 bets. Okay, and we call. We do 4 bets some portion of the time as well. Okay, check the villain. He goes massive, which is interesting. It makes our life easy because we're just check call now. And we don't really ever fold. Obviously, when he shows up with kings and aces, it sucks, or like pocket eights or something. But generally, this is the best practice with this type of hand. Against, okay. So yeah, we just call. It is what it is. Ace jack with ace of spades. It's a very good turn card for villain. We get it in very good. 75% equity for a 254 in blind pot. We do block a spade. It's my life. Continue to run pretty poorly. Super annoying. Such is poker. It's a crazy just runner bank with 250 bigs there. A bit frustrating, but we continue on. Okay, jack 6 hearts. We'll three bet some portion of the time just because villains are like massively overfolding to see bets on flop. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Oh man, we're running so far below EV. For anybody curious, this is our um, stats so far today. So we are about about 6 buy-ins below EV right now today. King queen down here. We raised under the gun. Big blind called. I'm just going to barrel this board. There's lots of cards for us to double barrel. Appreciate everybody checking out the stream. As you come in, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And hit the thumbs up as well. If you're on YouTube, then hit that follow button over on Twitch. Okay, we take it down here. We pick up pocket aces. We're going to be bumping that up. We just get flatted. We love to see LP bump this up. Okay. We're just gonna call here, proceed pretty cautiously with two like very V pithy whales. Can have a ton of hands here. Obviously, there's a bunch we beat 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9. These types of hands. Okay. Once they check, I like LP's range goes down significantly from nutting to not, unless you check shoves here. Let's check raise. I think I'm just gonna probably fold. Let's flop, check raise, turn, when called. We're just in a gross spot against like two ranges that smash this board. Just the question becomes like, are they massively overplaying like ace eight here? He is pretty spewy. My initial gut instinct's to fold. Just don't know how mid that is. Like, raised, called, flop went. Red flop, check raise, his turn. I could call. I can get away with calling one here. That changes things. Now, obviously, if we run into 6-9 here, it is what it is. So we're beating everything else at this point. And we should. And now we're just hoping we get called by like 7-8, 5-7, pocket fives, pocket sevens, pocket eights, pocket threes. And not 4-6 or 6-9. 4-6 and 6-9 both would likely called by now. Yeah, so I'm glad we didn't fold turn. I'm gonna send this out. I'm not sure. My initial instinct was definitely to fold turn though. But the 44 VPIP was just a little too high in the end to let it go. He could have been doing it too much of a wider range. And now I'm thinking I had the camera on the wrong table that entire time. So if I did, this is the hand I was talking about. And it went raise, call, check, lead, call, flop, check, bet, call, raise, turn. We called, drink to the river. Then I went check, and we shoved. Really hope I didn't have that off screen the whole time.
You hear about the Jack 8 lawsuit. Okay, good. We did have the aces up there for most of that hand. Glad it looks good. I'm just seeing it play through on screen right now. Okay, we value that turn on the 8. Going folds. Yeah, then it looks like I clicked off too far. I can't do that. So we do end up calling out aces in. Yeah. I'm not even sure how I ended up clicking off that table, but anyhow. Um, so yes, been shot taking NL 100 lately. Welcome, welcome, as everybody kind of piles into the stream here. YouTube and Twitch, appreciate everybody being here. Um, I think if we get a good stream tonight, we will finally hit that first level of monetization. So that's cool. Definitely a goal we've been after for a while. Down here with the sevens, I think we're just in double barrel. I think our hand plays out easier. Obviously, an ace X is going to continue calling, but it keeps our options open for the river. It also is going to charge so hands we beat like 6-7, even though we block these. And then we can decide if we want to bluff river some portion of the time if we do brick. And I think Village just ends up calling some worse hands quite often. And against that particular villain, we can get a lot of folds, I think, even from bad like ace X's. Here we pick up pocket nines, 9 deuce over here, ace jack here, we're going to bump up. And this table with ace queen we raised. So we go to the diamond and we do a cube on here. I'm going to check back. I think we're just ahead of a lot of his range, and he doesn't like to fold, so it's going to be difficult to get him to toss away a 3, a 4, an 8, and then the rest of his range we're just beating anyways. Nines we get called. Villain calls and then pretty quickly raises. I think we're definitely going to call this. He's not going to have too many deuce X in his range. Okay, and then down here, ace deuce suited. We're going to call. And down here with the nines, we end up calling off, and we do take it. Villain check raises as last turn river. Over here with the ace deuce suited, approach check folding river most often. Okay, up here we get saved by the river. Wow, we win with the ace of spades. It is true there are portions of the time where we do win there. He should probably be betting there a big chunk of the time because he wants to avoid us actually showing down with ace X and spade. So it looks like, yeah, we did pull it off screen. I'm not sure what happened there.
Okay, so we do defend the 10-8 suited here. We're going to check back to villain, who does bet. In this particular hand, on this particular board, it's difficult for us to rep much of anything. We do have some like ace nine. That's really about it. Maybe pocket nines some portion of the time. Uh, so here, I'm going to bet small to make it look like we're trying to buy a river, and then I'm going to check if the river. He just gives up. Okay, so that didn't work out according to plan. Try to get a little creative against a good villain there. It looks like he saw right through it. And we're just going to be isoing Jack on an offsuit. And we're just going to see bet here. Okay, we'll be done with the hand. Ooh, that's interesting. River card, turn card. I think against like a recreational, we can bet small here. They're only going to ring value. They're never going to bluff us. And we kind of get a nice free card to draw to our 8 outs. I don't think villain's folding often enough, so I don't want to go big and kind of get too many to have to call off with like 8 outs on a double flush board. It's not going to be super profitable. And we do actually end up value betting with Jack High twice. And we win it with the Jack on the river. A little bit of a cold going through the house here today, so you'll have to excuse my sniffling. Not today, but it's been like a week, honestly. And we're going to ISO up here with the 7 offsuit. Okay, this is a better table, so this is good. You have to replace one of these tables. I think. Which one do we want to? So here we open Queen 8 suited, got called. Okay, and we just go for value here. Okay, take down. So we're just going to dump this table, I think. Bring this table in. Okay, let's just move all this around. Okay, down here with ace king off, we 3 bets. Obviously, villain 4 bets, the money's just going in. There's no way around that. And jam. That calls. Queens, classic flip. Looks like we're running at 1 time. Not a great start. Give me an ace on the turn, or river, or a king on the turn, or the river. Or our run bad continues. Nope. Okay, 9-4 suited. We're opening a bit wider than we are supposed to from the button lately, mostly because I've been opening too tight. So I'm trying to force myself to um, widen my range by opening a little bit extra in a few spots. And here we're 3-bet the Queen Jack suited. And up here we're tiny 4-betting the jacks. Okay, and we're just going to see that the Queen Jack suited here. Take down. Up here we 4-bet, villain shoves. We obviously stick the money in. Okay, we are in the opposite area. Let's see if we can win this one this time. Okay. Okay, just got to dodge a ace or king on the river. Nice. Okay, we win a small flip, but a good spot nonetheless. Get down here, pick up aces, and we 3-bet the button open. We've been blasting this guy with 3-bets all over night, so let's hope he decides to pick a battle right now, which is possibly going to happen. Just call. Okay. And we are just going to blast big against this villain and hope he has like 9s, 10s, jacks. One is land lake showing some love. Okay. 4 is 6. Pump the jack 8. Stream's definitely been doing a lot better lately. Um, Later in the day. So I would like to do a big stream. Um, I just don't really have the time, but like a nice, like a legit, like 24-hour, just like grind, I think would be pretty fun. Get down here, the Jacksonville and opened. We decided to just call. Villain bets, we call. We make trips. Villain is just going to check back too often here, so we are going to bet. And kind of just hope he doesn't think we'll do this to the Jack and get paid off by someone X. And we're going to make it look as bluffy as possible with the big overbet. The overbet can look like, I think, like 8, 9, 10, 8 spades, stuff like that, some portion of the time. If we are bluffing there, I usually will go with a bigger size. So we pick up their value, I think, as well. Okay, Jack 3 off. Bump it up. Okay, we lose the action. We'll jump up here to 4s, bump them up. Okay, keep your heads up table back. Might as well throw it up and on. Check here. Interest is called or something. Okay. All right, I'm gonna give up here. If Dylan checks behind, we end up chopping a lot. Might have to call for the chop here. I don't think so though. No value bet. That's wild. No value bet from Dylan here on this river. It's kind of crazy. Top two. Okay, 9-6 we bump. Here, pick up the kings. Here we ISO he is queen suited. Blind versus blind is going to be difficult to get much value here. You have just straight folds. King of action here. King 9 suited. What is going on? So on that. Okay. Pop the ace 3 off here. Oh, just came into the table. That's fine. Okay, pretty good flop for us, if you ask me. And we're just going to continuation bet here. Okay, Bill calls. We're going to overbet here. We basically want villain to want to fold like 4X's, 5s, 6s, 7s. I think pot 3/4 he calls too often there. So I would rather go bigger and try to push those out. Against like good good regs and stuff, we could actually might not go that crazy. Um, but against sort of a recreational, I think the range is going to be super wide, and we want to be um, pushing pretty hard on them with big bets in those spots where we have quite a bit of equity, and we only expect to get like shoved on by the absolute nets. Okay, so down here, limp raises. It's always a little bit scary, but of course, we're just jamming the kings here. Okay, so good start, thankfully. I don't think we need to reward that limp shove call off. He says misclick. Yeah, that sucks if that was the case. In fact, he could have misclicked the raise and then with half his stack in there just called off, which is fine. We just dodged the river ace. Uh, Super shitty if you did run it, or if you did misclick it. I'd be running it once if I misclicked. Or I'd be running it twice if I misclicked there. But that's just me. Up here, we're just making a decision with ace 8 offsuit. Um, Villain limped under the gun. Small blind led, called, and went call, call. Turn went check, check, check. River check, he plots it. It's just a very weird line altogether. So I think we're just going to call. We block pocket eights, or just gets there with 10. I was going to say it feels like pocket tens if he has anything here, but Jack 9 I guess makes enough sense. Pocket eights we're going to bump, and pocket fives we're going to bump. And we're bumping deuces on another table as well. Okay. I think if villain bets we fold on the ace, 'cause we have so many aces in our range, I don't really see a world where he's going to try to pull up there too often. Um, so now the question becomes, if we check back, how often do we call rivers here? All right, we happily show down fives here in this spot. Ooh, sixes. Maybe we should have attacked there a bit better. All right, 8-4 suited, we're gonna fold. Okay. What's going on here? Where are we? Jacks. We are, of course, squeezing the jacks over the ISO raise. Here we have ace. Oops. Here we have ace king. We're going to bump that up. Here we have ace jack. We're going to bump that up. Pretty bad flop for the jacks. We are just going to check back here. Um, three spades. We have no spades. King's out there. King's actually really good for our range, but really bad for our hand. So I think checking's best play. And Drew does like to generally show down his weak pocket pairs. Uh, and I think we just show down here as well. Yeah. Pretty much the most likely hand he has. Ace just protects us from having to call. Um, could argue maybe value betting river. I just don't really see a world where we get paid off too often. And then up here with the jacks, we did open. We bet flop. Everybody called. The jack on the turn, we're just going to value bet now. And it is a spot that after we raise pre bet flop, get two callers. Barrel this turn. If somebody raises, we're going to be folding a portion of the time. Okay. So Gil calls pre. He has a lot of pocket pairs. Fives, sixes, sevens, eights, some ace five, but most ace five three bets. There's not going to be a lot of like king X we're worried about here. I think we just want to try to bet. I think betting smaller is best. Uh, and we're trying to target like eights, tens, sixes, sevens that villains like to call. He shoves like, does he just have five, six, ace five, pocket twos, pocket fours, pocket threes? Um, like I'm not really sure if he shoves here what his range would be. What's the tank with? Like eights, jack 10, jack queen, nines, yeah, perfect. Worked out his plan. Good. Very happy to see that hand. Read the hand well, targeted it well. Perfect. Then we ran a bluff over here with the jack nine, took it down. And we're going to be, what's going on here? We'll be three betting with the jacks here and folding a bunch of other hands. If baby whale overcalls shoves, we will be calling here. Expect to see like tens or ace queen quite often. It's a pretty good flop for us. And we're just going to bet big and shove turns. Obviously, there's like very little ace king in his range. There will be some like queen king and like queen nine and 10-9 suited, stuff like that. They'll put it in with pair plus draw. So here to pick up ace queen. We're going to move that up. Okay, pretty good flop for us. And against a recreational villain, we're just going to be going for value and targeting all of the worse aces in his range. 5-6, 7-8, 7-6, stuff like that. Okay. Not sure. Yeah, streams back. What if the streams like reclicking? It's weirdly going from like 8, 9, 10 watchers to like 1 and then it climbs right back up. It's kind of strange. Okay, down here with pocket nines, we raise, villain shoves 14 bigs, we just call off. Okay, and we run it. It's a very good hand to see. So he needs trips. Alright. So he's dead to running straight. Or running sevens. Excuse me. And we just hope to hold here. And he's dead. Perfect. Good thing he didn't have 9-10. Hold 7-3. Here we do call the 10-9 suited. Here we have jacks. Pump these up. Okay, fold here. So villain 3-bets, jack 6 deuce. He's going to see this like 100% of the time. And given that sizing and a 3-bet pot, we will check raise this quite often. The jacks we flop a set, so we're going to be barreling, and then the 9-10 arms we defend a big blind, villain check back flop. We're just going to go 2 streets for value. Okay, up here we check raised and rivered at the nuts, so we're just going to jam this. Hopefully find an 8-10 or a set or a queen jack where we get paid. Bluff raised the 9-10 suited there in the bottom left. Okay, we do get paid from the queen jack. Beautiful. Call. We're just going to give up here. 3 diamonds is not a card we're going to be blasting when we check raise this flop. Unfortunately, we just give up. Kings, yes. It's not going to fold kings for a check raise, but shuts them down. We would have been blasting, obviously, on like hearts or like a queen or an 8 or a hand. Just 3 of diamonds is just a pure brick, so it's not a lot for us to continue on. No extra equity gained, so we just kind of move on from the hand quite often. Up here, we check back the king on the turn. Could actually bet the turn as we check back flop against a pretty big wreck here. So, and now we just want to target like ace X. So we'll just go small enough where it doesn't affect his stack too much. And he'll call an ace there like all day long, essentially. So I just want to be targeting that portion of his range. And then here with Jack 8 suited, we bet turn to try to get folds. He does call, we river the straight. And now we're just going to target like Queen King, King 10, Ace 10, Ace King, Ace Queen, stuff like that. And just call the raise. He does have Queen 3 diamonds though, which is fine. He got us a tiny raise. King Jack off versus a 4x open is going to be hitting them up quite often. Okay. And we'll be evaluating down here. Queen. Okay, 10-9 off. Just going to be bluffing here against these villains. And I'm just going to take a break here on the blind. Okay. Flop. Second pair, we're going to bet. And here we pick up aces. Raise these up. Try to get a stack in. Omar actually likes to float barrel, and he overdoes it with like draws. So I'm going to check shove here. Perfect, and we get paid off with 8-4 up here. He has actually bet call Queen 10, so it's very good for us. And do not want to cash out. We're just dodging a Queen or a 10. Okay. We are sitting out, going to be taking a break here. We're just waiting for all the tables to catch up. Sitting on the big blind, you don't want to be paying for your putting in cutoff positions and then leaving. Take your Jack 9 off. We'll just bump this up. Full 10-7. Two tables left, and then we're just sitting at. We'll only be a couple minutes. Won't be long. Just want to refill the hot top. Okay. And we get tiny through that. We call. He bets and call. He bets half pot now. We call. Aces is super cool to see. 10, chop it up. I mean, I guess it decreases the likelihood that he tiny bet pocket aces when the ace falls on the river. I mean, you now chop king queen, so those are benefits. It also just leaves GG's. I said. So I think we are big blind next. So I'm just going to take this and we'll be right back. Just get some water. Okay. Quick little break and we're back. So we did manage to get ourselves a bump up on the. Oh wait, actually, I forgot. I need to edit that title that did not get changed. What the fudge is going on here? Actually, let's change it to. And poker, how to play poker. Oh my god. I should add all of them. Okay, that's that. I don't know how to change the title midstream on Twitch, if there even is a title. Show them my poker stream there is. Let's go to this. That's better. Oops. All right. Hold on here. Should have done this before we reset all of our tables, but we didn't, so here we are. Okay. Back to. Okay, so here the Queen Jack off. We're just going to defend. We're going to lead this board. Villain calls. Ace isn't a great card to continue barreling on. I'm going to just check that back and give up. Um, lose to the king. Anything but an ace, we're double barreling there. Like ace, king, queen are pretty much the only cards we kind of check on. Okay, down here, I don't expect a villain to be very strong here. Um, but given it's just a pot size bet, we're just going to jam here. So we're jamming our entire range in this like particular scenario. Villain doesn't have ace 10 suited, so obviously a fantastic spot for us. We're just dodging the 3 outs, one of which we have. Come on now. You just win. You just win. No chop. Okay, I was gonna say what did that was a big hand to unfortunately chop there though. Do appreciate everybody who does come in and check out the stream. Make sure you, when you do slip on in, you hit that thumbs up. It helps channel. Okay, here's a spot down here. By a spot, I mean we flop the absolute nizzles, and we get let into. Interesting. I think I'll just call. Give you will bust a chance to rig out. That's the absolute best card in the deck for us. I don't remember the last time we got a brick like that. I think we'll just put the one villain in and let you will bust decide what he wants to do here. I think I'll like calls. It's probably like the worst card in the deck. I don't know if we go for value here or not. We have the Queen of Spades though. I don't think we get called by much that we beat now. That's bad card. Great turn card, bad river card. Could maybe got paid there. I'm not sure if that's too nitty to check there. Um, thing with value shoving is you have to get called by worse. And when you're up against Rex, you probably shouldn't assume that you're never getting called by worse. You should always just put the money in when you are pretty confident you have the best hand. So I think checking back there is maybe not great. I had him on a flush draw though, which made me not want to shove when it came in, essentially. And there's a lot of like queen X where we just end up chopping. I'm not sure what's best there. I'll have to save that hand. Let's just see. Okay. So it goes raise, limp. Okay. I think we have to four bet the jacks here. Just happened. Once we four bet for 100 bigs, you can't fold. The combos of ace king is the same amount of like queens and kings and aces. So yeah, we just have to fall here, unfortunately. Not feeling good about it. Yeah. We have to run into this guy with the nuts all the time. So he's a very nitty player, which would, I think, lean towards making it better to potentially not four bet the jacks in that 6, 7, 8, 9. We didn't get the first one though, so we'll take the chop. Take a little bit of our EV back, which is a great spot. Okay, so we get paid. We did ace queen wins. We shoot at ace king and take it down. Up here with the 9-8 suited, we open in the cutoff. And we flop a straight, so we're obviously just going to be attacking here. Villain calls. So villain's calling. Eight's not great because now we're just chopping with like 9x. Um, Continue blasting, of course. But villain's calling like Jack 10, Queen 10, Jack Queen, Pocket 10s, which he doesn't really have in his range. So we can pretty much eliminate those. Glad to get it alive with those jacks. The 8 falls makes it harder to get paid off as well. King 9, I think we still call here. And the 8-7 we fold. So villain up here raised on the turn after we value bet. We value bet flop. So we called small blind. We value bet flop called. We bet turn for value. He raised us, we called, and then he checked the queen. I think we just take our show. Yeah, see the action. Crazy to call. I guess the 9, 9, 10 jack queen with backdoor. It's fine. It's all fun. It's all fine. And down here at the queens, we threw that pre villain calls. We check flop. We check turn. You can definitely bet turn. I feel like we get called more from like 6 and 7s, 8s by value betting rivers, even ace X. Or we can just collect the fluff off the villain as well. Um, in that spot, I think there's one like once you check the flop on the king X, it's kind of one street of value most often. Um, in that spot, very rarely you're going to get paid twice on that board. Maybe that specific board where you bet the 5 they call and then the 5 comes on the river. After you check flop, you can get more calls from like 6 and 7 8s. But I think if the 5 doesn't fall on the river to give them a vote, then you get one street out of them. And I think generally it's easier to get paid on that river. And then you also get paid um, on the river for their bluffs as well. Welcome to the stream, everybody. If you're just filing in, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're not already, and hit that thumbs up. It really does help promote the stream, which we're slowly trying to grow here, but We need to come up with something to do that. I think if we might take another run at the double it and climb, we would basically like buy into 4, 5, 6 tables with NL10 and basically try to just like every time we double the stack, we jump up to the next state. I think we'll double barrel up here. First, the limp call. 8-9 does come in though. But we have the gutter ball for the king for the absolute nuts. Jack's good also. If he was chasing some draws, they just missed. If he had like just 10x that he was calling with, we're beating that. Yeah, we should check now with pretty good showdown on limp calls and queen. Okay, well, if they're limp calling ace queen, we need to continue a little bit more cautiously post flop. That's for sure. Okay, down here, just fold the 10-3. Okay. Where are we here? Sorry, I'm just reading. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, the kings get 4 bets. So hold on here. Just bear with me and betting here. So we're betting the jack of hearts, jack 6 of hearts. You get folds. Here we 4 bet the pocket kings, and money will be going in. Okay, checking here, checking. So yeah, now you can't see the tables, but up here with the kings. So villain 4 bets, you get called. Flop jack, queen 4, going to value bet here. And unfortunately, villain does fold. Okay. Fold here, fold here. Down here, we're just going to check call with the 10 of diamonds. I don't think we can go. I don't think we get called by much worse. But I think some villains will definitely stab here. And I think like Queen King and Ace of Diamonds are incorrect, but I think it's unlikely they double check those in position and not stab at all. So I think it's definitely worth a call. Okay, we're going to 3-bet here. Down here is a little bit more of an interesting spot. We open, we get small 3-bets for its rows, and we get a pretty decent flop for our hand. Okay. This line is a lot of ace king. There's going to be some pocket pairs that beat us, but we are going to check here. And the plan is to go check call quite often against an aggressive opponent. What's it? Um, this one of the guys watching the stream said they can hear a noise in the background. Does anybody else hear that? I guess there's not too many people watching right now to even ask. I wonder if it's my fish tank. So we were, what did Dylan have there? So we were just chatting away there, not paying much attention. 6-5 suited. Yeah, so you had king queen, typical spot there. Check and then bet. Okay. All right, let's get focus back in here. Lost focusing on a few hands there. Been kind of autopilot folding. Get out of that. So here we call in the big blind versus the cutoff open. We do hit the pair of sevens. Raise the fives here. Okay, ace three suited. What happened here? He raised, Frog goes check check. Little bets into us. I think I pin one here. And then we can fold a lot of the turns. He's gonna have a lot of 9x and like pocket sixes and sevens though in this range. Once he checks though, we're pretty happy to show down the three. We just take it down. And then obviously, yes, a bunch of like stabs in that spot, which is what we call. We thought he only had like smaller temperatures that beat us, then we could just fold and move on sort of to the next hand. Okay, ace nine here. We're gonna bump. Down here we do call the jack three off and a limp pot, line breaks line when he stabs river. Here we did check back his board. He raised pre, he called in big blind, five deuce three, we check back. You can actually bet here quite a bit given our hand range. I actually prefer betting than checking, get that involved. I'd rather have the ace of hearts though too, but that's fine. Okay. And we're gonna bump the ace of five offsuit down here. We're gonna bump the queen 10 over here. Fold the queen five up here. And we will bump the ace 10 as well. Okay. You just see that here, obviously, King 9-5, very good board for our range. We have backdoors all over and an overcard, so lots of cards you can double barrel on. Yeah, so I think we'll do a stream here soon. We posted two shorts recently as well, but they keep getting age restricted for whatever reason. They're exactly the same as all the other ones, but I guess that's a pretty common occurrence that you're randomly getting hit with it. So I guess we're just rolling with it for now. Up here, he mentally raised. He called, obviously called the queen, barrel, he folds. And now we pick our ace king, which we're going to bump up. Okay. No cards right now. Okay, with these deuce off here, we're just going to be folding. See the king four, we just fold. Okay, down here, pick up pocket queens against the boss three. He folds. Okay, pick up jack nine suited down here. We're going to bump. So we have turned things around quite a bit here. We are up currently. So we're currently up quite a bit. So EV, we're up 10 buy-ins right now. I just try to slip this in here quick for everybody to see. And we are up 6 in actual profit. So still significantly below expected value. Just over 4 buy-ins by the looks of it. So, but yeah, overall, pretty good. We're just going to bump the 9-3 suited. You can open extremely wide out of the small blind if the villains are not properly formatting, which most are not. And we're just going to defend the king 10 off down here against the small button open. Okay, bump 6-7 suited. Okay, ace king suited. We're gonna bump over here. And we'll just defend the king queen here against the cutoff open. We also three bet this quite often. Proves to be a little bit more profitable, I think. Some portion of the time, but we still need to protect our calling range and queen king if it's about to do that. And here we defend the 7-8. We are obviously going to be betting here. We don't want to give him three cards with like ace X's and king X's and other kinds of stuff like that. And we do check raise with the king queen. Okay, so let's just jump to this. Down here, what happened? He raised, Juju raised, we three bet. This guy cold calls. I think we just have to call down here when we flop top pair. I don't think there's much we can do there. I don't know. It is super annoying though. I think it's probably fine. Like, what are we gonna do? It's 24 bigs left in his stack when he full calls there. It could just be aces though, some portion of the time. Maybe it's fine to fold, but I think we just flop top paired it is what it is. How would you get some of it back here though with the flush? Okay, 6-7 suited, we're gonna bump. We do get a bit back here as well with the ace jack. Okay, pocket eights, we're gonna bump up. Take it down here with 6-7 suited. And we're just gonna see back here. Got the ace 8 suited in this table. C-bet worked here. We took that down. Three deuce off. Obviously, we're just limped in here, so we're just folding. And jacks here. Kind of gross spot here. We raised, he called, then donk flat on flop, and then just like massively over the jam. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but I think we can just kind of get it out of the way. It's probably not going to be a profitable call. I'm calling off that much, even against what appears to be a pretty big whale. Okay, pick up ace king. Folds this time though. This is going to look potentially nitty to some, but definitely just calling the ace king here against this villain. We've so far seen this particular villain in this session alone call ace king and call ace queen. So its three betting range is going to be pretty tight, I think. Uh, Maybe he three bets tens, jacks, queens, kings, aces, doesn't, and like bluffs and stuff. It's actually hard to say. We're just calling here, of course. It's interesting though if he keeps blasting. Like, what do we really beat at this point? Do we think this guy three bets? Queen jack, if he's like queen jack suited, we lose. King 10, we lose. Ace jack, ace queen, we lose. Definitely call one more, but I think if he goes and shoves, I just really think like I feel like I'm beat right now. I don't think we can fold yet though. I just don't really think he's ever bluffing. We don't really beat anything. I'm gonna fold. I just think, given what we've seen, this how this guy's been playing, one, he's like mega nitty, so he can never bluff it ever here. It's not like he's bluffing pocket tens or something. Um, can we not? This is so annoying. This guy's such a massive spew tart. The fact that we call kings and get ace is so annoying. Sorry, I said tilt there for a minute. I think you just have to fold there. I don't see any world where he's flatting like against cutoff and button opens. He's flatting ace queen and ace king, and now all of a sudden he's going to be like bluffing tens there. I think he three bet probably queens jacks ace. I just he shouldn't have ace jack ace queen. It's like honestly I'd put him on pocket aces. You know, I don't know. Tough spot. I we got to stick with our reads and stuff, right? Like we can't be um, going off the book there. So a little bit frustrating, but I think it's the correct play to just get out of the way in that spot against that particular villain. In that particular like run out and stuff. This is a bit of a different scenario. Walter White is a huge spew. So if we run into ace king here, that's fine. Um, we're happily like check calling all of the money off. Uh, and expect to see way more like 7-4 offsuit. I mean, he did turn some equity though. Um, than ace king or like pocket threes or something like that, right? Man, just give us all three runs. Like, don't do that, yes. Nice hand. But it's two different scenarios, two different villains. Um, pretty much the same strength hand, though. Oh, that's a big turn card for him. I never really understand, like, these three ways just throw me off. Check. You got most of that big bomb loss there, the 90 bigs back. I don't know, it's a gross spot, but against like a nitty villain, I think it's probably okay. Well, check here. The stream is relatively dead tonight. I think 11 o'clock starting is not pulling in a ton of viewers on a Wednesday. So I think probably end the stream here shortly, I think. I'm also starting to feel a little bit tired, so I think, yeah, think with the stream kind of dying off right now, which is usually when the stream instantly starts to pick up every time I end it. Yeah. Anyway, I appreciate everybody watching. Make sure you guys do hit that like and subscribe button. Hit thumbs up. Feel free to check out videos. Come back to the stream another time. I think for tonight, that'll be that.